this thing?
If I go back right now, no. You know, we got something come on us last night on what it was. Johnny and Ann, hi guys, they took care of us last night, and the car was running pretty good. You know, we kind of got it off. The last stop we made some adjustments, and we really got it screwed up. You know, I lost another lap. I shouldn't have done that, but David Green's gracious enough to, he's been standing by all day for me, so I think if he can get the mess cleaned out of the seat and the floorboard, I think he can finish the race up for us. It'll be all right.
All right, you guys did make a pit stop, ran out of gas too, right? Just before you came in, before the red flag came out?
Yeah, I think we're 10th or 11th, and we was running around there slow, you know, that we lost fuel pressure and had to come in and get gas, and that put us to back like 19th or 20th or something. I think we can get back up through there, and I'm sure David will do a good job.
All right, well, that's Rick Mast not feeling great, but I'm sure with the weekend off next week, he'll feel better whenever we roll into North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, the fuel problem dropped Rick back to 19th position. The track is drying very, very quickly, and there's no rain falling right now, so we should be back to racing before too very long. We've completed 325 of 500.
First, Goodyear revolutionized wet traction design with AquaTread. Now, Goodyear introduces the first tire with a lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season InfiniTread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
And golden, because everyone's got a golden hour. What's yours?
It's 400 miles of rocky, rutted trails with enough bumps and jumps to shake a truck to pieces. But if you think an endurance race through the Arizona desert is a real torture test for a truck, just imagine what it can do to a battery. That's why Parker 400 winners Dan Smith and Dave Ashley chose a battery they could depend on to go the distance. The Duralast battery. The same Duralast you can depend on for your car, because it's the one we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Oh, well, I'm the kind of life that helps to get you going. When you're on your own out on the road, it's such a comfort knowing you got the Snake Light from Black & Decker. I get around, I'm the Snake Light.
The drivers have been ordered to their cars once again, although we have been under a red flag situation here recently. The track is dry and we'll be going back to racing in just a few moments. This is the first time that we have visited Bristol under its new ownership. Larry Carrier sold the track earlier this year to Bruton Smith. And this great half-mile facility here in the mountains of Tennessee is being added to the collection of racetracks that Bruton Smith now owns. We were in Atlanta just a few weeks ago, and of course he is also in control of the Charlotte Motor Speedway, but there are other racetracks on the horizon. As a matter of fact, a big super speedway is being built down in the southwestern part of the United States. The new 1.5-mile oval is alongside Interstate 35 near Fort Worth. Workers have been there since last year on the 950 acres, which is quickly becoming a major motorsports facility. It'll be the second largest in America with more than 150,000 seats and 205 skybox executive suites. This is where Victory Lane is being built. One of the drivers who hopes to be there someday is Dale Earnhardt, who climbed aboard a bulldozer to help move some dirt. It's just one of many racetracks being built in the U.S., an example of the racing frenzy that's sweeping the country. Going to be a magnificent facility down there in Texas, BP.
Bruton told me last week down in Darlington that pretty soon they're going to have 700 people working there on that racetrack getting it ready.
Yep, should be fun. Well, we have a special guest with us in the booth, and we'll let Ned Jarrett tell us all about that.
Yes, we do, Bob. Lee Greenwood, recording artist. What are you doing here, Lee?
Well, I don't have 700 people building my new theater, but I'm up here singing the national anthem today and singing God Bless the USA. I'm in the neighborhood now. I've moved to Sevierville, Tennessee, about 8 miles from Dollywood. We open the Lee Greenwood Theater tomorrow night with our celebrity opening and shows from now on. This is my new home.
Well, that's exciting.
I'll be singing for you here and at some of the other racetracks in the Southeast as well.
We'll look forward to that. Are you a race fan?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I can tell with that jacket. Sterling Marlin.
Come on, Kodak!
Had the pleasure of playing some golf with Lee a couple of years ago in a charity tournament over at Nashville, Tennessee. And,
There's an exaggeration. Me golf? Are you kidding?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun at it.
Chase the white ball around. You play golf, I don't play golf.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and we appreciate you coming by, and we'll look forward to seeing you around the races a lot more.
I'll be around a lot. Good. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Lee Greenwood joining us here in the booth while we're waiting for the track to completely dry, and it is dry enough that the drivers are back in their cars and the crews have taken the tarps off, and we should be back to racing here in just a few moments. We had a delay at the beginning because of rain, and now one here at 325 laps, but every indication is we'll be able to get this one completed.
I cannot live another day without air conditioning.
Says tomorrow's gonna be hotter.
Hotter?
Like yesterday.
Yesterday? Yesterday you said you'd call Sears.
I'll call today.
You call now.
I'll call now.
Now's the time to save on Sears installed central air conditioning. Get 0% finance charge, no billing, and no payments until June with the Sears Charge Home Improvement Plan. Call now for a free in-home estimate on a Kenmore air conditioning system. State-of-the-art engineering means greater energy efficiency. A new Kenmore could save 10 to 44% on your annual cooling costs. In time, even pay for itself. Sears also offers fast emergency installation, a 5-year warranty on parts and labor, plus our satisfaction guarantee. And you know Sears will be there to back it up. Get 0% finance charge, no billing, no payments until June. Offer ends March 31st, so call now and save with Sears.
So what's the paper say about tomorrow?
Another scorcher.
Cool.
Tradition. It's something established and consistent. It's one of the biggest senior PGA Tour events of the year. The Tradition, presented by Scott's. Thursday live at 3 p.m. only on ESPN.
Awaiting the resumption of the Food City 500 under a rain delay at the moment. A reminder that coming up right after our coverage, the men's final of the Lipton Championship featuring Agassi and Ivanisevic. And then Sports Center coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. After that, the big basketball game, the Women's Basketball Championship at 6:30. Sunday Night Baseball at 9 o'clock tonight.
You know, I wonder, in Sweden, is the weather kind of like this?
Never been there. How would I know?
Somewhere back there, there are 10 fans from Sweden.
Yeah.
That came here from Sweden just to watch this stock car. Can you believe that?
Sports come a long way.
It has come a long ways. So I wonder if they're getting wet back there. What if they know to bring a raincoat and all those? I guess they figured it out.
I imagine they're probably more used to snow up in that area of the world, don't you?
I was supposed to, and they said that I asked how the weather was. They said it's about similar to Newfoundland.
Oh, that tells you a lot.
Newfoundland, huh? Jerry Punch, what do you think?
Help us.
Danny, I can give you a medical opinion on this. Irrespective of what country they're from, when it rains here, they are going to get wet.
There you go,
Clever.
Benny.
Oh,
Doc, well. we're glad we bring you to these races, Doc, for bits of information. And all right, let's go to Bill Weber. He's with Todd Parrott.
Well, you guys have really had a rough ride this weekend. You had a great qualifying run, then your car went into the wall. You've had to rebuild one, and you're having a great run today off the lead lap, but you still got a good shot.
Yeah, I mean, this is Bristol, and a lot can still happen, you know. And got 170-something laps to go, and we are running 6 one lap down. Hopefully we get up front. We'll make a couple adjustments this next stop and make it where it's fast enough to go out there and lead the race. You know, it's a lot of guys have worked awfully hard this weekend to get this car prepared and running like it is. I mean, yesterday afternoon, I mean, we had a terrible race car. I mean, we were absolute junk. And come in here this morning, changed everything on it, and actually got a pretty decent race car now. So you just can't say enough about all the hard work and all the guys. And the driver is doing one heck of a job driving his tail off out there. So everything's going good.
What's your car need right now?
It's just a little bit loose up off the corners, you know, and a little bit tight in the center. I mean, I guess that's a chassis man's nightmare, pushing in the center and loose off. But we think we can get it adjusted and hopefully get things right.
Okay, this important-looking guy behind you needs to talk to you so I can get out of the way, and I'll throw it back to John Kernan.
Scoring
Well, Rick Mast told us that he was not going to be able to finish the race if it got started, so they've called the drivers back to their cars, and David Green is sitting in the Hooters Pontiac. David, a couple laps down, but Rick says you might be able to make your way to the front, huh?
I don't know. Rick done an awful good job on this thing. I tell you, you know, I hadn't got to practice any yet, but thanks to NASCAR, they let me stand in. Thanks to Richard Jackson and those guys for having confidence in me. But we're going to see how it feels and kind of take it from there. But Rick's done a great job feeling bad, so I really hated to see the rain come for his benefit.
It looked like Rick might just stay in here all day if the rain hadn't come.
Well, I think so. You know, he was running awful well right there and really a contender. He's got all 4 fenders on it at Bristol, and that's a plus. So we're going to try to do the best we can for Richard and Rick and try to take this home and thing home in one piece.
Yeah, was that the orders? Take it in with all the fenders intact?
Well, that's the plan here at Bristol, whether you're a driver, the owner, or what. So that's what we're going to try to do. And again, I want to thank those guys, but and Rick could get the feeling better.
All right, thank you. That's David Green has replaced Rick Mast in the #1 car.
Drivers are in their cars. We're waiting for the track crew to get a few of the trouble spots dry, and when that happens, we will be able to go back to racing. We've been red since 3:35, going on a half an hour. We'll be right back.
There's no track in the world that's tougher on brakes than the one in Martinsville, Virginia. And when drivers take the green flag here, they all have one thing in common: the same brand of brakes. Because without them, you can't come down this straightaway at 120 miles an hour and still make it to the turn. So which brand do the top drivers use to get them through 500 laps at Martinsville? Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. And we stock them at AutoZone.
Lightweight, liquid cool, and easy to handle. Everything you'd expect from Pepsi, the official soft drink of NASCAR.
First, Goodyear revolutionized wet traction design with AquaTread. Now Goodyear introduces the first tire with a lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season Infinitread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Practically, single-handedly, he had united the country. But I knew this was something he couldn't do alone. So I signed on too. Together, we'd make baseball the national pastime again.
Cup Series comes to Bristol International Raceway 2 times a year, in the spring for this Sunday afternoon event and then at night in the fall. And we look forward to both visits here. The track is one of the most interesting, and there are a lot of great fans here too. There's some interesting things going on pit side. Here's the doctor.
They're going to open pit road, guys, for both the cars on the lead lap and the cars that are lapped down, because when the caution came out for the rain and the 5-car pit road was actually open, so any car on the lead lap could have pitted at that time prior to the red coming out. So it would be unfair to penalize cars a lap down and hold them out of the pit. So now everyone can come in. You see the 24 cars pitting, the 3-car, Earnhardt and Company, Rusty Wallace, the Miller Genuine Draft crew, working on this car, Mark Martin, the overhead camera, see Steve Neal and Company. They're making an air pressure adjustment. Looking down pit road, you see the cars that are moving. Jeff Gordon is down and away. You see Mark Martin's crew still working. Here's Rusty Wallace as they all head back to turn 1. The Martin crew is making an air pressure adjustment in all 4 tires. They said the cars just not handling, they must be too low in the air pressure. Finally, Martin's Valvoline Ford is away.
Battle there between Martin and Earnhardt to get off pit road. I'm not sure who came out first, but they will decide that as the rest of the field lines up behind the pace car, and we get set to resume the racing. 326 laps now completed, so it won't take long to finish this thing. It's Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace, Dale Earnhardt, Mark Martin, and Terry Labonte.
Napa carries more parts than anyone in the country. And during a big sale, I feel I can carry each one myself. It's Napa's Spring Savings Sale, where you'll find great prices on the parts and accessories you need. Like a Napa Lawn and Garden battery, just $17.99 after mail-in rebate. Napa Silver air filters from $3.49. And this handy 96 Rand McNally Road Atlas for only $4.99. So come gear up for the season at Napa's Spring Savings Sale.
America running.
First, Goodyear revolutionized wet traction design with AquaTread. Now, Goodyear introduces the first tire with a lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season Infinitread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Look, you're not going to believe this, but Goodyear retailers have lowered prices. An amazing 25% on some of Goodyear's most popular passenger, light truck, and performance tires. Other prices start at $19.99. Hurry, this sale ends soon.
Enter the Performance Zone with Split-Fire Performance V spark plugs.
You hit your passing gear, you're gone.
Experts say Split-Fire Performance V spark plugs mean more horsepower and better mileage.
The difference in gas mileage has been fantastic.
Enter the Performance Zone only with Split-Fire Performance Vs, guaranteed. And for more power at any RPM, get Split-Fire Performance V twin-core wires.
Still under caution here at Bristol. No resumption of the race yet. We're trying to figure out how many cars are on the lead lap and who goes where. Now, on the racetrack, it's Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, and Terry Labonte. However, Labonte, made that pit stop there just before the red, and I guess because he just didn't get around quick enough from the backstretch while those guys were pitting, he's fallen into third spot.
And they put Mark Martin up in front of Dale Earnhardt. Have the NASCAR officials.
We were red flagged for almost 25 minutes.
Almost 27.
27 minutes, okay.
The monitor was on.
Oh, 26:46.
Yes. NASCAR determined that Mark Martin got the end of pit road faster than before it did Dale Earnhardt, so they flip-flopped in the running order.
Looks pretty good over there back of that mountain. BP didn't go rain anymore.
No, I think we're good to go for the rest of this race. And
good.
While we're trying to get down to our cars and get out of here, it will rain.
It'll rain as hard as it has all day.
Yeah, they say that there's maybe some heavy stuff coming in there later on.
Sterling Marlin on pit road for an adjustment.
And they're telling him to stop. The NASCAR official is holding him now. I don't know if they're holding him for 15 seconds or a Glover is, what's the deal, he said.
Tony, the pace car's coming. We're going another lap down.
He's already 2 laps down.
There comes Larry McClure to fight the issue.
He's doing what he was told.
That's right. They're calling the shots up in the tower. Don't talk to me. Well, obviously, Tony and Larry are not happy with this situation because Sterling only now is allowed to leave. Here's Jerry.
We're down here in the Kodak pits trying to find out exactly. Now, we were told, Tony, Tony's very, very upset. Let me see if we can find out from Larry McClure or some of the company. Larry, why were they holding the car, Larry? Why were they holding the car?
They said we pitted outside the stall with all this water over here.
So they held you a lap for being outside the box?
I guess they did.
That is Larry McClure, who's one of the co-owners. They were trying, according to Larry, to pit away from a puddle on pit road, and apparently NASCAR said that's not allowable, so he'll be a lap down.
Yep, he's 3 laps down now in 19th position.
And the signal has been given. They'll get the green flag the next time around. The light is off top of the pace car.
So far, we've had 7 leaders and 7 lead changes. Gordon, Wallace, Martin, Elliott, Skinner, Rudd, and Labonte have all gained 5 points by leading a lap. And so far, Jeff Gordon has led the most. And he is at the front of the field right now as the green comes out and we're back to racing.
5 cars in the lead lap.
Robert Presley trying to get one of his 3 laps that he's down. Back he does.
Ricky Craven, Dale Jarrett, all those cars. And here comes Terry Labonte. That's a battle for second spot.
Whoa, Labonte just slid to the inside of Rusty, and now here comes Mark Martin to take over that third spot. So Rusty is hung out at the moment.
And Earnhardt's going to go as well.
He's going to drop all the way back to 5th place. That's as far back as he can drop. In positions, he might some other cars pass, but Labonte's going to let him in. And he's got a spin.
Darrell Waltrip, some heavy damage to the back of the Western Auto Chevrolet.
Break for Dale Jarrett if he can beat Jeff Gordon back to the line. And Ricky Craven get one of his. And tell them, guys, that car's sitting on the outside of the track. Wow, Darrell Waltrip has hit that wall hard.
Yeah, the back end of that car is...
And Darrell, don't go in place because that looks like gasoline that is...
I can't even believe the car would even move, but he's trying. He doesn't know how much damage is done to the back of that car.
It looks like gasoline that's on the back of the racetrack, and I wouldn't want Darrell to be trying to drag something across there and spark. So somebody tell him. I mean, what am I saying? I'm sure that the crew is telling him to turn it off.
Oh, what a tough break!
Boy, that is a tough break for Darrell. And so much optimism going in. So Dale Jarrett now comes clear around the racetrack and is back on the lead lap in 6th place.
The 3 cars made up a lap on it. Robert Presley, Ricky Craven, and Dale Jarrett. And we have a red flag condition right now.
Yeah, there is a considerable amount of gasoline down there on the racetrack, and let's just get that cleaned up as quickly as possible, Jerry.
Well, Benny, immediately you were talking about cutting it off. It's exactly what the NASCAR official and Pete Peterson here in the pits had told Darrell. Pete, you guys immediately were telling Darrell to cut it off because of the fuel coming out of the back.
It must have busted neck or something and let the fuel spill out. I don't think he knew that. He was trying to get going, that's all.
Did he say what happened up there, Pete?
He hasn't said anything yet.
Okay, that's Pete Peterson and the crew. They're going to try to make their way over to DW, but fortunately NASCAR right there immediately saw the fuel coming out as Benny Parsons did, and Ned upstairs and Bob, and ran over here and said, tell him to cut it off, which DW immediately did.
Well, we've been concerned with moisture on the racetrack all day, and now they are putting moisture down on it, trying to dilute the fuel that came out of that car. That could have been a very bad situation.
Darrell's not happy with somebody. Whatever caused this situation. Certainly he's unhappy because he tore his race car up, had a great run going here today, but I believe that he's a little concerned about somebody that maybe got into him.
He was in 11th position when this thing occurred. Yeah, there you can see he makes contact with somebody.
Dark car.
Jeff Bodine, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, Jeff Bodine, the 7 car. And Darrell spins up, and there we see the gasoline start coming out of the car.
There's the front of Jeff's car, and it does show signs of having had contact with Darrell.
Once again, we'll show he's already hit the wall. He hit the wall up there where it says Food City, and now the gasoline is coming out of the car. And it's amazing that the thing is all that metal was dragging across the track did not put up a spark, but luckily it didn't.
Yep, you're right.
And all the cars going by on the inside.
Gasoline just comes gushing out of the car.
Well, you could see it. It was the reddish color, so it was gasoline.
And Jerry is with Darrell Waltrip.
DW, first of all, a hard lick. Are you okay?
Yeah, actually, I'm in pretty good shape. I guess getting out over there and walking around a little bit before that got freshened up a little bit. But I knew these restarts were going to be real treacherous, and pit road deal, you know, where you come in and everybody gets doubled up. It's going to be exciting here for a while. I hate I got involved in it. I was having a pretty decent run. I think I could have had a pretty good finish, but we'll get them next week. At least we showed some promise today. That's more we've been showing.
Showed a lot of promise, DW. Now, the crew was trying to tell you to cut it off. You were trying to get it refired and going. Probably had no idea there was fuel pouring out of the back of the car.
No, I've seen drivers, you know, I've seen them at Indy try to fire their cars up, and the motor ain't even on there, so I didn't have any idea the fuel cell was busted. I knew I hit pretty hard, but I just wanted to try to get back in the garage and get out, you know, get Stevie and get with the kids, and we'll get them at, what's the next race?
Wilkesboro.
My favorite racetrack.
Okay, DW will get him at Wilkesboro. He gives Stevie a big hug. Let's go up to Bill Weber, who's standing by with Childress.
Okay, and Richard, let's go back to that last yellow flag after the red flag when the cars came down pit road. Some confusion here and some disappointment by some of these teams.
Well, you know what you know, what we thought that they had run a couple of laps and get everything back up to speed and get everybody single back out. We were still sitting on the back stretch whenever they, the 24 and the 6 came in. But I guess, according to NASCAR, they had opened the 5 car had opened the pit road earlier. So, you know, I'm a little confused, but I'll go with their call.
And you had a little trouble getting out, too, because some of the traffic down here?
Yeah, you know, the other cars had pitted that were a lap down, so I don't know. You know, normally they start them in the rear, so I don't know unless they figured that was the second time by.
Okay, that's Richard Childress. And what happened when the 3 car tried to leave, the 28 car, which is pitted right in front of them, was there, and Dale had to go forward, back up, and then pull around the 28 to get out, and that cost him, obviously, a few seconds, too. They weren't real happy down here. Everybody's calmed down a little bit, but that last situation down here was not very pleasant.
You saw Dale Earnhardt take his goggles and pull it away from his head. If you don't do that, they steam up. So you have to take that just like a defroster on the car.
And again, we'll tell you what's going on. They're diluting this fuel that ran out of Darrell Waltrip's car with water, and they have to do that before they lift the car off the track in case there is a spark or something that might cause the gasoline to ignite. So they pretty well got it diluted now, and in just a moment they'll be dragging the car off the racetrack. Then we'll dry up the wet spot and get back to racing. Jeff Gordon still leads here at Bristol.
There's a special bond between NASCAR drivers and their fans. There's no other sport like it.
If you're a NASCAR fan, you're gonna wear nutmeg.
Be part of the great American sport. Wear nutmeg, the official NASCAR racewear.
Since NASCAR first began, there have been over 1,000 races with more than 10,000 drivers and mechanics and millions of spectators. And as NASCAR continues to grow even bigger, so has the one parts store serious enough to be the only official auto parts store in the history of NASCAR. Western Auto and Western Auto's new Parts America.
When the Hendrick team switched to Quaker State this year, I was talking with my crew chief about it, and he said they ran through all these tests. The dyno, camshaft test, and all these others, right? And the stuff beats all their standards. So I said, but don't forget, we won 8 races with last year's oil. And he said, yeah, but don't you forget, we also lost 24. Tough crowd. Dang, guys, come on.
Quaker State exceeds the highest standards for engine protection.
No trendy health club. No $60 shorts. No bull. Speed Stick's no-nonsense formula gives you 110% protection. Like you, it never quits.
There's Darrell Waltrip's car being taken back into the infield area. A lot of damage, fuel completely out of the car, and the cleanup here on the main straightaway is continuing.
Still losing a little fuel as they're taking the car back. So, but that piece on the front that's dragging the ground is fiberglass, and that will not throw up a spark. So, good.
All right, let's take a look at our Busch race recap. Jeff Gordon, we've completed 335 laps, and he's led 141 of them. 7 lead changes, 5 caution periods for 31 laps, and the average speed 76. There are the drivers who have led a lap and picked up the 5 bonus points. Bobby Labonte has led 2 laps. And now let's show you the drivers that are out of the race. Only 3 officially. Elton Sawyer, Mike Skinner, and most recently, Darrell Waltrip. Jerry is with Gary Dehart.
Now, we saw Terry Labonte pit just before the red flag came out, Gary. So then the red flag comes out. You guys have already pitted for 4 tires. You're at the back of the field. You would expect when the caution comes back out that you would be the leader because everyone else would pit. It didn't happen that way.
Yeah, I know. But what happened was when they turned the cars loose where they had them stop back there on pit road or on the track, the leaders kind of went ahead and started running pretty hard. And the pace car was missing, too, if you noticed that. But anyway, when we finally got around here, the lead car's already pitted and beat us off the pit road. NASCAR said that's where we were supposed to be, so I guess that's where we're supposed to be, Jerry.
So in other words, if everyone had gotten going at the same time, probably the 5 car would already have passed everyone that had pitted. But as it was, with cars still getting cranked up back there, you guys had to fall in line behind guys that had just freshly pitted.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing because the leaders, they chose not to pit earlier and we did pit. We didn't get caught with that red flag thing, so we should have been out, come back on. When the pitting was through, we should have been the leader. But it also opened the door for all the lap down traffic to pit the first lap too. So really everybody was out on the racetrack running around. No one knew where they needed to be, and I guess we just ended up where we needed to be, or where we ended up. But
that's third spot. That's not bad. Well, you're second now anyway.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good from what we were looking like earlier. You know, it was almost a lap down, and then we got that rain shower, and it caught us up, you know. We were a little bit tight that time. The car should be a little bit better now.
All right, a little smile out of Gary Dehart. So they got a break prior to the red coming out. Then NASCAR being fair at letting everyone pit ended up putting them back in third spot when we got ready to restart. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Hey, Top Perry, you got your lap back.
How about that?
Yeah, how about that, huh?
How about that Dale Jarrett? Driving son of a gun, isn't he?
Yeah, he's having a good day out there. Now, what'd you do to the car?
Freed it up a little bit, but now that we got our lap back and we're on the tail end of the lead lap, we're going to come in and put on four more tires. And
so you got nothing to lose now?
Oh, no, got nothing to lose now. Just going to, in case he ran through debris or whatever, we're just going to come in and get 4 more tires and hopefully drive it to the front.
No more rain?
No more rain. Now we got our lap back. We can win this thing.
Okay, Dale Jarrett coming to the front. You heard it here live on ESPN.
Cleanup is still going on, and look at this.
He's beating a hasty retreat, isn't he?
He is out of here.
Uh-oh, now how am I going to get over this thing, he said, huh?
Uh-oh.
Where's the steps? Where's the step? Oh, they're going to open the gate for Darrell.
Well, ain't that nice?
That's very nice. Oh, that's right. Stevie is not going to be able to climb over the fence.
Yeah,
so
Darrell could do it.
You know, we talked earlier about how Darrell is the top performer here at Bristol in the modern era with 42 races and an average finish of 7.4. You know who the guy is who's second on that list, as Darrell gets a big round of applause? Who is the second top performer here at Bristol in the modern era?
BP?
Not necessarily an active driver.
BP?
How about that?
Really?
Yeah. Did you
really?
know that?
No.
7.5 was your average finish in 24 races here at Bristol.
Really?
That's good.
Yep.
Wow.
How about that?
I'm impressed.
So am I. And for that, Benny, you win absolutely nothing.
That's what I figured about what I want for that 7.5.
Still a lot of clouds over there beyond the mountain, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain anymore. We should be back to racing in a moment.
Talladega's a technical track. To win there, you got to understand the draft and be able to use it to your advantage. Knowing when to make your move, where to make your move. It's just an all-day drafting chess game. High bank, flat out running, 30-car drafts. You're hooked up in a 200-mile-an-hour freight train, and you can race 500 miles and just win by inches.
Busch Beer is proud to bring you the great tracks of NASCAR, now featuring the Talladega Super Speedway.
That's Talladega. You just run flat out all day long.
Every year, over 1 million accidents occur in bad weather. Don't you become a statistic. Use Rain-X. It lets you see clearly in the worst kinds of weather. Rain-X turns ordinary glass into water, soil, and stain-repellent glass for improved visibility and driving safety. Apply Rain-X to windshield, side and rear view windows, mirrors, and lights year-round. Call right now and you'll receive a special offer of the Rain-X system for improved visibility and driving safety. You'll get a 6-month supply of Rain-X. You'll also get Rain-X Anti-Fog to end the staining and fogging of the inside of your windshield, side and rear windows, and rear view mirror. We'll also include the all-new Rain-X windshield washer additive. We'll also send you the new Super Glass Cleaner Concentrate for home and auto. All this for just one easy payment of only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Call toll-free to order the Rain-X system for just $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Or send check or money order to the address shown.
The ATP Tour presents the Lipton Championships. Men's final today at 4:30 on ESPN.
Now we have the jet dryer at the trouble spot down here on the main straightaway, drying the area, and it shouldn't take that thing too long to get this moisture up out of the racetrack, and we'll be back to competition once again. Well, we had a little bit of a controversy down on pit road a while ago regarding Sterling Marlin. Doc, what's the latest?
Well, Bob, I'll tell you, that jet dryer isn't nearly as hot as these guys were about 10 minutes ago here in the Kodak pits. I'm with Larry McClure. And Larry, NASCAR now has looked at the tape, we are told, and is trying to correct that situation.
Well, I hope so. We didn't think we'd done anything wrong, and we didn't pit the first time by because they told us not to, that we couldn't. So a couple of mistakes made, and it cost us quite a bit because we felt like we could get our lap back. We were about the fastest car on the racetrack, so I'm sure they'll do the right thing. I hope they do.
Talking about how much of a family this is, there were other crew chiefs that actually came up and told the NASCAR official here in your pits. I know Steve Meal and others came up and said, hey, the 4 car wasn't over the line. He had the right side tires on the line because of some fuel back there.
I think all of us, there was fuel back there, but I think all of us work together and race together each week, and we don't want to take anything from the other people. Steve was looking out for us. He wanted the right thing to be done. Same thing would happen to Steve, we'd do the same thing. So I think they'll do the right thing.
That's Larry McClure, the car owner. What about it, guys? A Ford team and a Ford crew chief helping a Chevrolet team, trying to do what he thought was right by helping the NASCAR official.
This is what happened just a few minutes ago when Larry and Tony were a little unhappy with the call that was made from the NASCAR officials.
NASCAR official said, look, that call was made upstairs. I didn't make that call. Tony, he's who can argue with? Okay, I'll go over and talk to this guy. No.
Some good emotion there, Tony.
He's a competitor.
He is definitely a competitor.
Can't blame him.
Yep.
Crew was all laughing, watching Tony and laughing.
Turn around, wave to us, guys.
They're probably not hearing audio. They're just seeing video.
There we go. All right. The conversation is continuing. This thing hasn't been completely resolved, but our Kodak moment continues.
Yes.
All right, we'll keep our ear to the ground here and determine what happens and report to you what the final decision is in just a moment. We're going to take another break as the red flag continues to be waving over Bristol.
Kenny Bernstein's Budweiser King Top Fuel Dragster. Who says you need wings to fly?
She's a brick house. She's mighty, mighty. She's letting it all hang out. She's a brick house. That lady Jack and that's a fact. Ain't holding nothing back. She's a brick house. Oh yeah. She's a brick house.
Back at Bristol International Raceway, and we've had one delay after another. Couple of rain showers have moved over. This most recent red was because a lot of fuel spilled on the racetrack when Darrell Waltrip crashed, and they had to dilute it and then dry it off, and that has almost been completed. Now, we are almost to the point of where we were supposed to get off the air. The men's final of the Lipton Championships will be seen. Just stay with us and you will see it, because Sports Center doesn't come on until 6 o'clock tonight, and we will certainly have our race completed and the opportunity to show you tennis between now and 6 o'clock. After Sports Center concludes at 6:30, the women's basketball NCAA championship game, and then at 9 o'clock tonight, the 1996 baseball season opens, and ESPN will be there with opening night. That's at 9 o'clock. Bill Weber is with Robin Pemberton.
Rusty Wallace is crew chief. Obviously, you guys have had a great car today. How about it from here, Robin? Can you make it to the end if you stop once more?
Well, no, we're going to have to stop for gas at least. We can go with about, believe it or not, with 6 to go. This isn't like Darlington where you can back pedal and, save the fuel. There, with 5 or 6 cars on the lead lap, there'll be a few of them that'll probably stop and top it off. I imagine the Chevrolets can go from here, but we can't.
Yeah, you have a great car. You guys have been excited about it since you tested up here.
Yeah, we've been real excited. The car hasn't been perfect yet by any means. We've been a little loose early on, and we've tightened the car up a little bit since then. We got bounced around on the outside there on that last restart, so I think we'll be better now than we have been. And the temperature's dropped about 15 degrees since we've last run real hard, so we'll see what happens. It might take a little adjustment on everybody's part.
Okay, I almost saw him smile, almost. The 3-car apparently will not fire, and they're going to have to push start Dale Earnhardt to get this thing going again. His car is creeping slowly forward, and maybe he'll get a little push from behind out there, huh, guys? Oh, nope, Rusty's going to go around him.
Here comes the push truck. Pull up behind Earnhardt.
Gonna try to crank it again.
Well, I think he's got it fired. He's just waiting to get his place in line.
Okay, well, everybody will fall into position now, and we'll take a couple of laps around the racetrack and then be back to racing. We've completed 336 of the 500 here in the Food City 500, and we'll take a break. Be back with more right after this.
When people hear the Hendrick Motorsports team switch to Quaker State this year, they'll probably think Quaker State wrote us a big check. Well, that's not how it happened. First, it had to pass our camshaft test. Then it had to pass our dyno test. Then it had to pass a track test. Then they wrote us the big check.
Quaker State exceeds the highest standards for engine protection.
A lot of engines perform on race day at the Indianapolis 500. And no matter what machine they're powering, they're expected to put it all on the line all day long. And when it's a Briggs & Stratton engine, well into the night, make sure your power equipment is powered by Briggs & Stratton.
In the perfect world, your house is a home, and your garage is, well, a garage. Staffed with ASE certified mechanics capable of handling your brakes, shocks, and front-end work. All backed by a guarantee that lets you decide when the work is done. But of course, that's in the perfect world. In the real world, you might have to drive a few blocks. And right now, all brake service is on sale, only at Sears Auto Center. Our garage is your garage.
Up next here on ESPN, Andre Agassi, tennis's most charismatic star, takes on Goran Ivanisevic, the moody, morose, the smoking babe who lets his emotions hang out for all to see. You'll see them this afternoon on ESPN. Agassi and Ivanisevic, best of 5 for the title.
Back at Bristol, where the cars are rolling and some pit stops being made. Now there is Sterling Marlin, who's pulling out after getting some fresh tires on the left side. He was allowed to make up the lap, so he's only 2 laps down. Dale Jarrett has been in twice. I think he's got all 4 new now, doesn't he, Ned?
Yeah, he changed 2 the other time, so he was at the tail end of the whole field and could only change 2 tires at a time, so he now has 4 freshmen.
And before that, Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt came onto pit road to each get topped off. Doesn't take long to get the cars topped off.
See, they jacked Rusty's car up just a little bit on the left side to get in every bit of fuel they can. Robin Pemberton said that they might be about 6 laps short. And so now they came back in. That could be the difference.
And there is the first time that Dale Jarrett came in to get right side tires. And they don't want to change all 4 at once because you can lose a lap that way. So he made 2 pit stops, 4 fresh tires. There's Jeff Bodine going out of the backstretch pits just ahead of the pace car. And now we're set to go back to racing.
Jeff Bodine is in 19th position, 2 laps down.
Ward Burton, Ricky Craven also making pit stops here on the main straightaway as the pace car continues to circle the racetrack with the caution light on.
And Sterling Marlin, we talked about NASCAR maybe giving Sterling Marlin one of the lap back that they penalized it. They did, in fact, give him a lap back. So.
And the way they did that, they let him go out and pass the pace car and went around the racetrack so that it would show up proper on the scoring. They don't just mark an extra lap on the scoring. They let him go around.
We understand that it is raining again.
Yes, and it's
coming down pretty hard, isn't it? You can see the track getting wet already.
Yes. It's darker over here. some areas too.
And you can always tell when it's starting to rain because the umbrellas and the raincoats come out, and the fans are doing so down below us. And there is the roof cam showing the moisture, and Bill Elliott is back out, albeit without a nose. Where is he, Ned?
28th right now.
Yeah.
About 18 laps down.
Well, this has been a very frustrating day, hasn't it? We've had rain, more rain, and a 19-minute red flag because of the spilled fuel from Darrell Waltrip's car. And there is
the rain.
The rain, yeah. It's showing up pretty good in the reflection from the lights. The crews once again move out to cover up their respective pit areas to keep them dry. But we're not going to get green flag here very soon.
No, we won't.
We will look at a Napa field summary to show you where all the drivers are running right now. These laps aren't being counted, by the way. We're up to 3:41 right now. There are 6 cars that are on the lead lap, just 3 1 lap down, and a whole bunch that are 2 laps down.
And there's a whole bunch of mouses. 16 through 30, Ernie Irvin. A couple of laps down. Elton Sawyer credited with 37th today, the first car out. So David Blair back in Batesville, Arkansas. Sorry about that. And I hope you're doing some good on your sponsor search.
Yes.
Be great to see them get some riding on the side of that car.
See Doyle Ford talking to the NASCAR officials. And evidently he understands what they're saying. By the way, you know, Darlington last week, Doyle dropped the green flag on one of the restarts, and they're red flag in the race again right now. He dropped the green flag on one of the restarts, so this week he took a rubber band and tied it around that so he could put it around his hand, and so that wouldn't happen again.
Is that right?
Yeah. And I shouldn't bring it up. I won't bring it up anymore. So this is the last time I'll mention it.
Now that the world knows it.
Yeah. Well, there is the red once again.
He's gracefully, beautifully waving that red flag. Attaboy, Doyle. What a job you're doing. Got to do something to get back in the good graces of Doyle.
Not a good sight. Bill, what do you got?
I just wanted to tell you, according to the radar, it's not raining here. So we can go ahead and go, because right here on the NASCAR radar, if you look where Bristol International Raceway is, it's clear. So it's not raining. See all this stuff, though?
Yeah.
That's rain.
Yeah.
You know where it's coming? Right here. So here's the raceway, and right here, if you look real closely, you can see the Tri-Cities Airport. That's where my plane leaves in about an hour and a half without me tonight.
That's right.
A lot of us, but
forget it.
Yeah. So it is raining here now, and this stuff is coming, and we're going to really have to play some dodgeball here to try and get the rest of these laps in. But cross our fingers. Hopefully, we will.
Let's see. In about 3 hours, looks like it's going to be nice.
Bobby, you going to hang around for that? That'd be
Sure,
good.
I'll be here to the bitter end.
That's why they have lights here.
That's right.
And we all know how much everybody loves the night race here at Bristol, right?
The lights are on, by the way.
Yes, so we can get a preview of one of the best races of the year on the NASCAR circuit, the fall night race at Bristol here maybe today, and it'll be trying. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, but we'll be hanging around and see what happens.
Okay, well, we'll be here.
And I'm not going any place. I want to see the last of these few laps. About 150 laps.
Every one of these cars that are on the lead lap have demonstrated their ability to lead and possibly win this race, so it's going to be good when the thing resumes. The jet dryer is back out. We have seen it demonstrate earlier today that it doesn't take long to dry the track when it does stop raining and that dryer gets out there. So if it would just stop raining and give us about 45 minutes or an hour, we could get this thing in the books. In the meantime, we'll take another commercial break as the race fans now have donned their rain gear and brought out the umbrellas to ward off the moisture here at Bristol.
Can your radio do this? Or get this kind of reception? Sound this big, rich and natural only comes from the Bose Wave Radio. What makes such lifelike sound? A patented Bose speaker technology called an acoustic waveguide. Sound flows through the waveguide, giving music a full, rich bass, unmatched by any other radio. No other radio has the waveguide. So no other radio makes music sound this big, rich and lifelike. We guarantee it. Call now for details on the Wave radio. It even comes with this great little remote control. To get more information or to try out the Wave radio in your home, call now. Call Bose today. And hear what you've been missing.
Rain at Bristol right now. Light rain, wet racetrack, but drying attempts are underway. There's the jet dryer here on the main straightaway.
And evidently, Bill Weber, the report he had just a moment ago, evidently NASCAR, talking to weather people and looking at their radar, believes that they are not going to get enough rain, that they will not be able to complete this race. Otherwise, they would just call it off right now and save everyone the misery. But they believe they're going to be able to get the racetrack dry and finish it. And we can see that the jet dryer is doing a pretty good job, and the racetrack is already turning light.
John Kernan with Ricky Craven.
Gee, Ricky, we can't seem to win for losing today, huh? But doing a pretty good job running ninth right now.
I'll tell you what, when you come here, you better be prepared to scrap. I got a group of scrappers over there in the pits. They're doing a great job. Charlie's been adjusting the air pressure and changing the stagger a little bit, and we got one of our laps back, and the car is, the longer we run, the better it gets. So pretty happy with the Kodiak car.
Hey, what do you think about these fans up here? Through all this rain, there are very few of them have left.
Unbelievable. You know, they all have their ponchos. They're day glow green, orange, pink, blue. Looks like a big bowl of Fruity Pebbles up there, you know, looking from down here. But those guys are great. Bristol fans are great. You know, they suffered through this last year in the rain, and when we were delayed, and they had the wave going, and I just soon have kept going, but I'm sure they would too. But we're all going to sit here. We got lights, so might as well hang on. We ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, what do you guys do? What does this do to you as a driver? I mean, here you start, you stop, you start, you stop. You know, is it almost like, well, let's just pack it up and go home?
Well, it was a blessing for us. On lap 50, we had the worst possible situation happen to us that you could have and still be running at Bristol. The mirror fell off. So when we got our red flag, they had passed me some tie wraps, and I fixed it while we were in here.
All right, well, that's Ricky Craven currently sitting back here in his car comfortably in 9th place. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punchin. Jerry, you got a TV star with you, or what? Who's with you?
Well, he's a TV star on Saturdays, and he's a heck of a race driver on Sundays, and he makes the big bucks. I'm sure it's got to be Sunday. I know he doesn't make the big bucks on Saturday, but Kyle, having a good run today.
Yeah, we're not too bad. You know, we had a little miscommunication on that last thing. We thought you couldn't pit on the first lap, and everybody pitted, so we lost 4 or 5 positions there. We went from 9th or 10th back to 15th or 16th, so that kind of hurt us a little bit. Car's really good. Car's running good. Car's driving good, and, you know, I don't know. Hopefully they turn the lights on out here, so hopefully they'll sell a lot of hot dogs here. Benny, sell a lot of hot dogs here so they can afford this. Hopefully they won't take it out of our purse.
Now, you guys, you said you were pretty tickled with the way the car was running. We talked about the fact, hey, I hesitate to say this. We talked about it a moment ago, but you know. Well, yeah, I talked to Darryl, and his car didn't have a scratch on it. I said, but yours doesn't have a scratch on it.
No, ours, we're really good. We're not great and we're not bad. We're just right there. You know what I mean? And guys that are better, they just come up and they pass you and they go on and they don't beat on you too bad. And the guys I'm able to pass, you know, they make a slip and you get up under them in a corner and they give you room. And, you know, there's a lot of give and take racing out there. There's a lot of guys. This shows why most of these guys are Winston Cup drivers, because they're really, really professional drivers out here.
Does doing this on Saturday, holding this microphone, make you want to stay in that race car for a number of years?
For the rest of my life, I think. After listening to you guys, especially the ones in the truck, I just want to fire on the guys in the truck that scream at me on my headset every week. But, no, I enjoy doing the Saturday stuff. I feel like I learn a lot on Saturday, watching the tires, watching what the pit crews do, whether they change 2 or whether they change 4. It's not like driving by any stretch of imagination, but it's a lot of fun.
Hey, Kyle, thanks for joining us. Kyle, having a great run today. Let's check in up pit road.
And here's somebody else who's having a spectacular run. Dick Trickle, 8th, 1 lap down. But you can make that up, can't you?
Yeah, something like 24 hours ago, we were trying to make the show, and we're 8th, 1 lap down. And, you know, I got to give the Health Source people a lot of credit, because Mark Smith, the owner, you know, he put a pretty good group of, assembled some good people, you know. And we lost Jeff Hammond here just early part of the week. But we got people in the house, Peter Suspenzo, you know, and, you know, a lot of guys, you know, that we could just replace them. We don't have to go outside to do it at this point, but you know, I'm just happy to be in the show. I said I'd rather stand in the rain tomorrow than go home, and we'll do a little of that. But we have a race in here. I know NASCAR, they'll try to get the whole bit in, but You know, we're running. You know, we ain't quite there. We're just a little bit loose. Hopefully, got it better this round, and you know, I'm just happy to be here, and we'll be at the next one.
Yeah, that's your style, though. Isn't it a loose race car? You like that?
Well, yeah, I do, but it about snatched sideways out of my control a couple times.
I saw it once coming out of 4 there.
I'm having to, you know, back down and drive it. That's how I was still 8th, you know. And, the guys are really working good with me. That's what's been, you know, we take pride in we're going to miss a show. We come here Saturday morning and we just, you know, changed everything that we could think would make the car better, and we did get the car, you know, about 3/10 faster, put it in the race, and then went into late practice and changed some springs, and you know, the car was working pretty good late yesterday, so I said to God, let's put a turn bite in this thing and put it on the line, and we had 15 minutes left to practice, and that don't happen very often.
Okay, and he's 8th right now, guys.
Dick Trickle, here's what we're going to do, folks. It's going to be a while before we resume this race. We're going to send you to tennis. Now, when they resume this thing, we're going to come right back. You're not going to miss anything, so don't go anywhere. And we'll also update you during the commercial breaks of tennis. So again, stay with us, because when this thing resumes, you will come right back here and you won't miss a thing. We'll update you during commercial breaks, but right now, we are going to go to tennis because we are under a red flag rain delay here at Bristol.
The Tennis Center at Grandin Park on Key Biscayne hosts the most super of the Super 9 ATP Tour Championship events. This is the biggest tennis happening in the U.S. after the U.S. Open. It's the Lipton Championships. Steffi Graf winning the championship yesterday. That's her 5th. Now Andre Agassi tries to make it 2 in a row against the Croatian sensation and the tour's hottest player, Goran Ivanisevic. That is the good news. The bad news is that Goran Ivanisevic woke up this morning with a stiff neck. It has been worked on all morning. There is some question about whether he's going to be able to continue this match. As you can see, he is warming up now. But we will see in a minute just how well he's able to hit this backhand side especially. For a report, Patrick McEnroe is at courtside. Patrick?
Well, as you maybe could see in the warm-up, Goran is very uncomfortable. He's having trouble turning his head, and you don't realize how important it is in tennis until something actually happens to your head, your neck muscle. He's got to look up on the serve. You got to move the neck. It's going to be very difficult for him. He's never had any trouble with his neck before. Complete black, just bad luck. Everyone is so excited for this match today, me included. Hopefully some miracle will happen. Maybe it'll loosen up. The weather's real warm down here. Maybe that'll help. We'll just have to see if he can go.
Thanks, Patrick. Is this Lipton final jinxed? Remember in '89, Thomas Muster hit by a drunk driver, and that final could not take place. And then 2 years ago, Pete Sampras was going to take on this man, Andre Agassi, in the final. There he is. And Pete Sampras had to have an hour's delay in order for him to get ready to play because of a stomach virus. Anyway, he made it. Not only did he make it, but he beat Andre Agassi in that final. Will that same thing happen today? Andre Agassi taking on Goran Ivanisevic. It is due to be a best-of-5 set championship match here at the Lipton. ESPN and the ATP Tour proudly present the final day of the Lipton Championships, sponsored by Wishbone, world's most colorful taste, by Rado, the leader in scratch-proof watches, and by the new full-time four-wheel drive Lexus LX 450.
Colorful taste, wishbone bright, colorful taste in every bite. Take a peek, take a pour, you're looking at what you're looking for. Taste the colors. Colorful wishbone, wishbone, world's most colorful taste.
Red peppers, onions, garlic galore. All the robust taste you buy Italian dressing for.
Wishbone, world's most colorful taste.
For more colorful tasting chicken, marinate with Wishbone.
The future is ready for Rado.
I've worked with Jim for a while now. He knows exactly what he's going to do when he retires. He reads annual reports cover to cover. Believes the smartest thing he ever did was marry Claire. He worked hard for his money and thinks it's about time his money returned the favor. Because I know Jim, I know what investments he's comfortable with.
What could possibly be as precise as the tolerances within one of the finest Swiss watches available? How about some of the tolerances within the engine and suspension of one of the finest automobiles available? The Lexus ES 300. Let others follow.
Not a great deal of change here at Bristol as the track drawing continues. We still are getting a very light rain over the racetrack. Our leader is Jeff Gordon, followed by Terry Labonte. There are 342 of the 500 laps completed here in the Food City 500. Again, we will continue to update you, and if we get a start, we will come right back. In the meantime, let's return to tennis.
Sellout crowd today at the Lipton Championships for the championship match. And there are two things that could spoil this sellout crowd's day. One is the weather, and secondly, the condition of Goran Ivanisevic. Let me introduce you to the fiery one, Fred Stolle, sitting next to me. Welcome to you, Fred. What do you think?
Thanks, Cliff. Well, you know, we introduced the show, what was it? Lightning and thunder, and I think in about 45 minutes we're going to get a little bit of both, because we've had reports that there is clouds and thunderstorms in the area. There they are right above you there, and they're all around the stadium. Very little blue sky around here at Key Biscayne at the moment. There's just one little spot right up in the top of your screen there. The other thing, watching Ivanisevic practice his serve there, he could barely move his head. He can't, as Patrick mentioned, you've got to look up to catch that ball up as you throw the ball up. He can hardly move it. The other night, when he played against Sampras, the rains came for 45 minutes. That turned the match around. Can Goran Ivanisevic pray for rain again today? I don't think he's going to last that long, Cliff, just having a look at the warm-up, and I feel that it's going to rain here in about 45 minutes.
It may be shorter than that before we see the rain. Patrick, do you agree with that assessment of Fred's?
Well, there's no question. I mean, Goran just looked up at his coach behind me up here. I'm down courtside. He looked up at his coach and made a little face. It's obvious he's in a lot of pain. When I had this happen to me a couple months ago, I never had a neck problem. I woke up one morning. You can't serve, you can't turn your neck. It's just really difficult. It's just almost impossible to play. The fact that he's out here giving a shot is a credit to him. It's also a credit to Andre Agassi. Let's remember, he's agreed to the fact of pushing it back to 2 o'clock. It was a 1:30 start time. He said, look, let's give him time. He understands the importance of, you know, the whole outlook of tennis, the whole game, and he wants to play. And he said, hey, whenever Goran's ready, you know, I'm ready to go. So let's just hope that some miracle happens and he can actually go out there and we'll have the great match we were all expecting.
Well, the ATP Tour has certainly got to give them permission to do that too as they get out there. If it was the finals at Wimbledon or a Grand Slam, the US Open, I don't think that would happen because the rules are a little bit more stringent. In these Super 9s, which are the greatest events, going into with the, there's Agassi with that stuff that he uses on his hands now. That takes the place of the sawdust. He uses that fusion, takes the place of sawdust with that grip, and he likes that stuff. But I think this, if it was Wimbledon, Cliff, they'd have called it a default.
Don't agree, Fred.
Don't agree?
No, I don't agree. US Open or the Australian for that matter as well. I think that the same thing would have happened. After all, tennis is the name of the game. You want to see a final. Everybody does. National, international television coverage like we have here. And I think Agassi would do exactly the same thing in the official world.
Yeah, he would do it, but whether it's written in the rules is different. Here we go.
First point. 80-mile-an-hour first serve from Ivanisevic. He has served up to, what was his highest, 128 or something here. So he's clearly hurting. Watch again. That serve got up to 115, and there was no shoulder turn pretty much. It was all on.
The tough thing for Agassi, he knows before they go out of the locker room, he knows what pain Ivanisevic is in. And he can't feel any sympathy. He's got to go out there and, hey, try and do this. Remember 2 years ago when it was Sampras who he gave an hour to. Sampras was just getting off the table. He was throwing up in the locker room, and he came out and beat Agassi in that final. Agassi doesn't want that to happen again today. It's not going to, though, folks. Don't worry about it.
It was a very sporting gesture on his part, and Agassi lost that match, as you said, to Sampras, but he said afterwards, hey, if he can beat me in that condition, he deserves to win. I didn't want to win it any other way.
3 break points.
And that's called a good serve, and it's 15-40. If your weather forecast is wrong, Fred,
112 mile an hour, that one. So
and there is rain sooner than that, then this could be a factor. In a row for Ivanisevic, the injured. It's deuce.
It's starting to loosen up. He started off the first serve at 80. It's climbed up to 112. That second serve, you can see, was 79 miles an hour.
You can see him sort of pulling up every time he hits the backhand side. He's not turning as much as he normally does. He's certainly not hitting the ball as hard as he usually does.
You got to get your head around to that backhand side. You got to turn the shoulders, and he just did not do that on that last shot.
And Agassi, meanwhile, he's missing shots that he'd never normally miss because, as you said, Fred, I mean, he's aware of Ivanisevic's condition, maybe just trying for too much. You can see Ivanisevic on the backhand side wincing. Deuce.
Stadium here today, and they announced that there was a half-hour delay before this one came onto court, because most of the folks thought it was the traffic. It's taken a long, long time for folks to get here today out along Rickenbacker Causeway from Miami.
Goran Ivanisevic is broken in the first game. We will see whether he will continue. Patrick, when you had this injury to yourself, as you were saying, it's an injury that goes away pretty quickly, doesn't it?
Well, it can. I mean, that's why Fred made a great point by saying maybe if it rains, maybe if he can just stay out here, lose the first set. Who knows? It could rain, and then maybe they might have to even finish tomorrow or at the end of the day or something. We're not sure. It's obvious from that first game that Goran cannot hit a two-handed backhand. He sliced every one of those backhands, and that's because he has to turn his head to hit the two-hander. If he just moves a little bit more over to the side and plays it with one hand, he doesn't have to move his neck. That's what he's doing. But obviously, look at him now. He's just dejected, and who knows what he's going to be able to do. But just the effort that he's out here is, look, see, he's going with the one hand. See, he can't even turn his neck. and he's been hitting all one-handed backhand. So that's obvious that he's in a lot of pain.
His biggest and best backhand is the two-handed swing. But as you quite rightly point out, he just can't get his body around enough. There is the man that has really been responsible for helping him turn his career around. He was a childhood friend of Ivanisevic. His name is Vedran Martic, and he used to travel with Ivanisevic and Bob Brett down to Australia, for example, travel with him a lot. And then when Bob Brett walked out on Ivanisevic, he took on that man as his coach.
Still trying to sort of stretch the neck a little bit. Obviously, the physios have worked in the locker room in that for the last couple of hours to try and loosen that up. But sometimes it just takes a little more than that, a little more time.
15 low.
And Agassi, if he's smart, he's got to work that backhand over. He says, hey, I can't sort of go out there and feel sorry for Goran. I've got to get out there and make everything go to that backhand side so that he can't play that two-hander. He just cannot get the shoulders or the neck around that far. Ran around that returner serve. It was directed to the backhand. You can see there, he's closing his eyes. He just feels miserable and very, very disappointed and depressed at this stage.
What I like about Ivanisevic is that his face tells the story. He doesn't even have to open his mouth. In the best of circumstances and in the worst.
He should have a look around at the clouds if he can lift his neck up that far and see that it's not too far away if he can hang on there for a set. So Ivanisevic looking up to the skies.
Game point Agassi. 2 games to love Agassi. The crowd apparently are unaware of the injury to Ivanisevic. They were told, obviously, and knew about the delay because they were slow hand clapping and they watched a wheelchair tennis exhibition for the first half hour of the match. For the day, it was supposed to start at 1:30, and it was delayed for about 45 minutes. But they were not told why.
As I say, they thought it was basically through transportation. It was just very tough. My wife took an hour and a half to get out here for the matches today, and normally it's a half-hour trip for us.
Love 15. Seeing him wincing again, even hitting that forehand, he just can't turn the head hardly on the shoulder at all. .92-mile-an-hour first serve. That's about 30 miles an hour less than he normally will hit it. Break points.
The crowd now sensing something coming on. Wake up, Goran, but they don't realize what it's taken for this young fella to even get out there to give them a match.
There you hear it, wake up Goran. They don't know. And they're whistling because they don't know. 3 games to love Agassi. Again, the rains are not far away. You can see those clouds surrounding this arena.
Goran's not even sitting down in his chair now. He's just walking around. Looks like he's talking to the trainer. Actually, that's the ATP trainer right there, Doug Spreen. He's telling him what's happening. People are actually booing down here, which is amazing. I mean, as you said, I mean, the fact that he's out here, they don't know what's going on. There's been no official announcement about the condition. There's just the announcement that it's going to be a delay. But obviously by now they know something. People are standing up here now looking at Goran. They know something's up. And maybe let's just see. He's got to hope for a little rain.
Mark Darby, one of the supervisors there, has now come onto the court. But I'm just thinking about another 10, 15 minutes. It's got very breezy, very cool here right now. I don't think the rain's too far away, but I don't think Ivanisevic wants it that way either, to hang on in there. But hey, that's about his only option, only chance at the moment. Agassi knows what's going on. There's Cliff Buchholz, who's just come out.
He is the tournament director, Cliff Buchholz, and he's around the Ivanisevic area. They're going to continue.
Alan Mills, the tournament referee, was there in the corner.
His best play is to keep playing until the rains come.
He's looking up. Well, that's what I say. That's his best shot, but I don't think he'd want that either. But he looks up there and says, hey, come on, please rain. I'm in agony down here.
3 to Agassi.
The only rain they've had the entire championship was 45 minutes of it the other night when Sampras led Ivanisevic 6-2, and it was 1-all, 30-15. Ivanisevic came back after the rains, was down a break point, held serve, and then went on to win.
$30 love. Ivanisevic has won 4 titles this year. He's been in 2 other finals. This is his 7th final of the year, and he's calling it quits. He is saying, I've had enough. See you, Malavia. I'm out of here.
I hope that they make an announcement out here so that the crowd do know what is happening with this young man.
I cannot believe that he wouldn't just walk around for another 10 minutes until the rains come, which they will.
As I say, I don't think that's the way he wants to go and grab it.
We're going to try to get Patrick McEnroe over there to talk to Ivanisevic, to ask him exactly what the story is. What a sad way for this championship to end. A reminder, in 1989, Thomas Muster had to withdraw and did not play the final because of a car accident that sidelined him for a year. And then in 93, Pete Sampras also had his problems. But let's go to Patrick McEnroe courtside now. Patrick.
I'm down here with Goran. I mean, we were all excited for this. I was excited for the match, and I feel terrible. I can only imagine how you feel.
I feel very bad because all this work and playing here, beating Chang and beating Pete, and now all the crowd understand. I mean, they asked me to go out here, try my best, and they worked 3 hours on me this morning. I couldn't move my neck, and I really feel bad that I had to do this, but I really was not able to even come on the court. But they asked me, please come and try and give your best, and I gave my best, and I really feel bad.
Well, I think the people just don't understand that you're in a lot of pain, and I think that's why we're hearing these cheers. But I mean, let's look at the positive. Like you said, you had a great week. You're playing the best tennis of your life, and you know, maybe we come back here in the summer, and maybe the U.S. Open will be the one.
I don't know. If God wanted like that, that's like this. I had a luck last match against Pete. Rain came and saved me. Now, unfortunately, something else happened. I got injured, and hopefully it's going to pay out somewhere else.
Well, we're sorry, but what can you do? Good luck. Good luck.
As we all know,
it does look like it might rain. Maybe you could have just held it down and waited for a little rain. What do you think about that, possibly?
They asked me, but I feel like an idiot here on the court, just walking, and I cannot do that. It hurts me. It's a final. It's a big tournament, and it's not me. I cannot walk for another 6 games and just wait for the rain. It's not me. I didn't want to do it.
I understand, Goran. Thank you.
That is a straight answer to a straight question. Well done. As Goran Ivanisevic says simply, I just didn't want to do it. So we're going to take a break, and then we will try to talk with Andre Agassi as Patrick McEnroe makes his way over to Agassi's side. In a minute.
Rebel, express yourself. Take your creativity to a whole new level. Express yourself with EOS lenses and the Rebel X from Canon.
If your office equipment ever breaks down, no matter where you are in the business world, remember, nobody responds like Danka.
Welcome, my son.
Hello, Dolly.
Everyone wants to know the facts of life, but look at the jam I'm in.
I can fix that.
Only Danka offers copiers, fax machines, and digital systems with this world-class commitment to service.
You're wise beyond your years, Danka man.
So what is the true meaning of life?
Leave your number. I will fax you.
Danka, world-class products, world-class service.
Introducing the new full-time four-wheel drive Lexus LX 450. It's everything a Lexus is, and everything a Lexus isn't.
Centuries, the game of tennis has remained stagnant. Minor advancements have done little to progress the sport. ProCanex introduces a break from the past, a racket that changed the rules of the International Tennis Federation, tested and verified by the MIT Sports Lab. More power, more control, and less vibration. The Kinetic from ProCanex. A new era of tennis begins.
Hey, Dan. What's wrong?
Hey, Grant. Bad show. Hair looked bad, teleprompter went down, made some mistakes on some highlights.
I got something to cheer you up.
Thanks. Thanks, Grant. Appreciate it.
No problem, Dan.
Well, the conditions have deteriorated substantially since we last talked with you. Heavy rain falling over the racetrack for about the last 15 minutes, and it continues to rain very hard. We're going to stay here until some decision is made. We could get a decision very soon. We will continue to update you during commercial breaks, and again, when and if this thing does resume, you will see all of the race. But right now, quite frankly, it doesn't look very good because it's continuing to rain very, very hard at Bristol. Let's go back to tennis.
So, me and Jim, two USA boys, are going to get it on.
You just heard Andre Agassi telling the crowd that Jim Courier, maybe you didn't hear that, Jim Courier has made his way over here and that he's going to take on Courier in an exhibition match. Before that, he explained to the crowd about the problems of this man, Goran Ivanisevic. Now Patrick McEnroe is trying to corner Andre Agassi and have a chat with him. So he's down there. Patrick, over to you.
Okay, I'm here with Andre. Obviously, terrible situation. You were more excited about this one than anyone, I'm sure.
You know what? It's just terrible for a tournament of this nature to end this way. You know, and Goran, he's played so tremendous this year. It must be a huge disappointment for him. But you know, there's not much I can do on the other side of the net except feel bad. You know, and Jim's here. We're going to play some competitive match. Hopefully, entertain the crowd a little bit. But there's no question it's a disappointment.
Well, let's look at just the overall picture. You started really playing good.
My game was improving, but today was a big match for me. You know, today I really needed to beat a top player and to feel like I'm now playing my best tennis again. It didn't get to happen the way I wanted it to, but, you know, to some degree it's nice to put myself in a position where I'm the one receiving the trophy. I mean, if this had to happen in the finals, I'm glad I'm here, but, you know, take one step at a time, and I'm going to need a few more tournaments, I think, to really convince myself I'm there.
All right, thanks, Andre. As you can see, the most disappointed of almost anyone except Goran, Andre Agassi here, was sending it back upstairs.
Thanks a lot, Patrick. We are going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more of the Lipton Championships. Agassi, a winner over Ivanisevic. He retired.
How do you make the perfect soup? Here's a smart idea. Buy something brilliant. Lipton Kettle Creations Soup Mix. Look through the window. It's full of pasta and herbs and beans. And in just 20 minutes, enjoy homemade tasting soup that you've cooked to perfection. No canned soup has that. So you'll want to think about trying all 4 delicious varieties. You may not be able to get them off your mind. Kettle Creations, a fresh idea in soup.
Rado, scratch-proof Swiss watches of lasting value. A joy to look at. A joy to wear. Rado, Switzerland. A different world.
Mighty Might, America's versatile vac. Does things big vacs won't. Lightweight, power for carpets, bare floors, car, workshop. Now price to move. Mighty Might, only from Eureka. Corded power in your hand. Corvette Vac by Eureka with powered brush roll. And now cordless Boss Power that can clean anywhere. Unbelievable price. Corded Corvette Vac, cordless Boss Hand Vac. Both hot values only from Eureka.
Can your radio do this? Or get this kind of reception? Sound this big, rich and natural only comes from the Bose Wave Radio. What makes such lifelike sound? A patented Bose speaker technology called an acoustic waveguide. Sound flows through the waveguide, giving music a full, rich bass, unmatched by any other radio. No other radio has the waveguide, so no other radio makes music sound this big, rich and lifelike. We guarantee it. Call now for details on the Wave Radio. It even comes with this great little remote control. To get more information, or to try out the Wave Radio in your home, call now. Call Bose today. And hear what you've been missing.
Welcome back to Bristol International Raceway, where the Food City 500 is under a rain delay. Actually, this is the 3rd rain delay of the day. The race was started late. Then we had one in the middle. It's almost stopped raining and the track almost dried, and then a very heavy shower, the heaviest of the day, as a matter of fact, moved over about 10 minutes ago, and it's still raining quite a bit here. And so the trucks continue to circle the racetrack, and we hope that we can resume the race. Now we see that it's almost stopped raining completely. So with the trucks out there and with the jet dryer, there's still hope that we can resume this race. Of course, the lights are on, and we can go as late as NASCAR wants to. But a decision is expected before too very long. Still raining very lightly at the moment at Bristol. So in the meantime, we return you to tennis.
Today's coverage of the Lipton Championships has been brought to you by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. By Lipton Kettle Creations, homemade style soups with pasta and beans you create fresh. Kettle Creations, a fresh idea in soup. And by ProKennex. Well, a disappointing day as Andre Agassi wins the championship over Goran Ivanisevic because of Ivanisevic's hurt neck, and he retires after 3 games. Welcome to you, everybody. I'm Cliff Drysdale alongside the fiery one, Fred Stolley. I mean, it goes without saying that that's a disappointing way to finish up, and I don't know whether there's any comment that you can make vis-a-vis Andre Agassi and whether this does anything for him, Fred.
Well, I think you can make a comment on both of them. I think it was very nice of Agassi to say, hey, he knew that Goran was injured. He gave him extra time. The match was delayed 45 minutes. But give a big plus to Ivanisevic. He did not want to go out there. They asked him to go out there. The crowd were booing him because they were not aware. There was no announcement made. But then he gets up and he says, hey, I'm sorry, I'm disappointed, this was a big match for me. And the crowd gave him a standing ovation once they learnt that he was out there and it wasn't just going through the motions. Could have stayed there for 10 minutes and it rained, but he said, no, I don't want an idiot. I don't want to look like idiot and play another lousy 3 games.
Tournament overall was very good, though, Fred, wasn't it? I mean, we had some great matches here. It has been a more successful event than ever before, and this is going to be the 2nd US Open here soon.
Cliff, they tell me that attendance for the Lipton this year was up over 50% from last year in 1 year. So, hey, I'm going to get my money in for the box seats for next year, I'll tell you that right now. Butch can have my money.
A 96 draw in the men's, a 96 draw in the women's, down to one. Steffi Graf won the women's yesterday. Andre Agassi, a winner, sadly, today over an injured Goran Ivanisevic. Up next here on ESPN, tennis-wise, Thursday, you can see the Family Circle Magazine Cup at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 8 o'clock in the morning out on the Pacific Coast. And then Fred and I heading to the Czech Republic, Prague, for the U.S. versus the Czech Republic. So indeed is Patrick McEnroe. He will not be in the commentary position, though. He will be playing doubles for the USA. That's 1 p.m. Eastern Time, starting Friday and then through the weekend. Here's Goran Ivanisevic in probably a disappointing moment, undoubtedly a disappointing moment for him, as he says, "I've had enough."
Well, he said he beat Chang and he beat Sampras this week. He was very much looking forward to this confrontation. And thunder and lightning, well, we got it, but it wasn't the way we wanted it.
Agassi, as usual, a great sport, as he congratulates him and shakes his head saying, "I'm sorry it happened to you, Goran. 2 years ago, I gave Pete Sampras an extra few hours, and then he came and beat me. That did not happen today." Goran walks off in defeat. Coming up next, it's Sports Center, the Final Four edition. For the fiery one, Fred Stolley. For Patrick McEnroe. Earlier, Betsy Nagelson and Malavia Washington. I'm Cliff Drysdale. Thanks a lot for joining us, everybody. Sorry it ended the way it did. Goodbye from the Lipton.
The Food City Winston Cup race at Bristol International Raceway is still under a rain delay. It's not raining hardly at all right now, and as you can see, we have trucks and jet dryers and pace cars and just about everything else out there on the track trying to dry it. But for the moment, we're still under the rain delay, so we'll talk to some race drivers. First, to Dale Jarrett.
Well, Dale Jarrett's still sitting in his car, and Dale, I don't know, what do you think? We're going to get this thing restarted?
Well, I'm ready if they do. I hope so. You know, one advantage we got here, we've got lights, and we can stay here for a while. And certainly these fans paid a lot of money and spent a lot of time to get here to Bristol to see us race for 500 laps, and we'd like nothing better. And plus, we're back in the lead lap, so let's go race some more and see what we can do with it.
Yeah, what a job that you did on the track, the crew has done in the pits, taking this backup car from dead last all the way up into the top 10.
Yeah, we've had an extremely good day. I tell you, Todd did a great job. We talked for about 3 hours last night trying to hash this thing out and decide exactly what we needed for this car. We made a lot of changes this morning, and the crew did a terrific job just getting those changes made. And then we've adjusted a little bit here, but the car's been pretty close. Don't know that we're as good as those front couple guys, but as long as we've got time to work on it a little bit more, which we've made another adjustment, I think that we can maybe give them a run.
Okay, last week run out of fuel, a couple laps to go, and this week you were telling me earlier you're good right now, right?
They say we can make it. I don't have to save any fuel and don't have to worry about running out, so we're good to go from here. You know, it'll just be a matter of you know, what the caution flags when they fall, if we need tires or anything. But as far as fuel goes, we can make it.
Well, that's Dale Jarrett sitting in his car. He's ready to go racing right now, sitting in the 6th position. Bob?
There are 158 laps to go in this race. 342 have been completed, so Dale thinks that he can go the rest of the way without fuel. And Bill Weber is with one of the Labonte brothers.
I'm actually here with both of them, Bobby and Terry is second right now, and Bobby is 7th, 1 lap down. You've had a good run here today, and you got in there and got you some tires when it started raining the first time, didn't you?
Yeah, it didn't work out quite like it should have, but we did the right thing. It just didn't work out right.
Chasing your teammate right now, huh?
Yeah, you know, so we ran pretty good early in the race. In the second set of tires there, we made an adjustment on the car, and it got too tight, so hopefully we got it back right again.
Okay, let's talk to Bobby Labonte. Obviously, you're 7th. Would like to make up that lap when we get back to green flag racing here.
Yeah, I really would. You know, right now we're next in line to move up to the front row on the inside, so that's good, you know, but it's going to be tough to beat these guys on the outside anyway. But, you know, I'm kind of like Terry. You know, the second set of tires, we didn't make an adjustment and just didn't work out quite as good. Didn't really know which way to go. I thought I'd just leave it like it was, and it didn't work out. So my car wasn't as good the second time, but I think it'll be better this time. Hopefully, we made the right adjustments. We'll try it again.
Now, that video game where you race on these tracks, do you have Bristol on there?
Yeah.
Does it rain when you go to Bristol?
No, and I usually end up with all 4 fenders on it, too.
Oh, maybe he's telling us something. He's 7th, Terry's 2nd, and we're waiting for the track to dry. And let's go to Jerry Punch.
Well, we're dry. We're up inside the front of the NASCAR truck, guys. I'm sitting here with Ray Evernham. Ray, you just told me a minute ago it's the first time you've been up here that you weren't being chewed out, so it's a pretty nice visit for you for a change.
Yeah, it is. Jeff and I came up here to discuss our concern with the fans. You know, that we probably need to end this race because it's cold and it's damp, and those poor people up there sitting on concrete. And, you know, we're just concerned about the fans' safety at this point.
Not to mention you're leading the race. If they ended it, you guys would win it, of course. But I know you're concerned, but everyone else says, you know, that the rains are moving away.
Well, we were sitting here watching the radar, and it's not. It really does not look good. I don't know where they're getting that information from, but it doesn't look good from where I'm sitting.
In fact, Ray's even heard some thunder, he says. I mean, I haven't heard any, but I think Ray heard. Let's see, this is the latest weather radar. Just came up a moment ago right behind me, and let's take a look. And Jeff Gordon, let's let you be a weather radar man. Come here a minute, Jeff. That's where we are right there, and it looks sort of ugly.
Looks to me like it hasn't moved in the right direction. Well, it depends on who's surveying it, but
not ugly to you, though, is it?
You know, hey, we'll run this thing no matter what. You know, that's what this is all about, to give a good show for everybody, and we want to win it fair and square. But it is not looking good the way that report's showing. So we'll be here for the duration.
Well, it is starting to rain outside. We can see out the windows are starting to come down again outside. And as you can see, folks, behind us, all this green area and the yellow area, even more intense showers on this radar. This is the latest picture. Came up just about a minute and a half, 2 minutes ago. This is the latest weather radar. Jeffrey, let me ask you this again. If the race were to end now, you would gain more spots, as many maybe as 3 more spots in the points. What an incredible 3 or 4 events you guys have had.
Well, you know, things have been going well, but, I mean, it's preparation. These guys have been giving me real good cars, but it certainly is not over yet, and I'm not going to jinx myself or anybody else until we either see the checkered flag or NASCAR makes a decision here.
Superstitious race driver doesn't want to say I've won it, but you're going to sit here and watch and wait. But if it is a decision made, we'll talk to Jeff Gordon if and then he is the winner. Let's go to John Curtin.
I'm standing by with Ricky Rudd. And Ricky, kind of a streak on the line for you here. You're sitting 14th with 150 so laps to go, and you haven't finished outside the top 10. Doesn't look good, does it?
Well, this weather doesn't look good. You know, we've got a shot at finishing in the top 10 if they get going, but we also got a good shot at finishing 18th, so it could go either way. Our old car got going better there at the end. We'd like to see it get going again, but not a whole lot we can do about Mother Nature.
That's exactly true. And also Ernie Irvin is back here, and Ernie. Well, what more can you say? What more can you add to that, huh?
You know, I mean, we'd all like to go racing some more, you know. Just, you know, I mean, the fans, you know, love to see us race, and it'd be nice to be able to go another 150 laps and, you know, hopefully be able to move up some more positions. But, you know, right now, all the fenders are still on it, so we might be better off just loading it on the trailer.
Oh, is that the official opinion?
No comment.
Okay, let's go to Bill Weber with someone who did the shortest relief driver stint in history, probably. Bill?
I had to wake David Green up. He's exhausted from today's activities. What did you do, 1 lap?
1 lap under the green, and that car handled great. On 1 lap, I had new tires and all, but I tell you, Rick done a great job. He was feeling bad. I said, there ain't no way Rick's going to get out of this Hooters Pontiac because that thing was running good. Then the rain came and it stopped, and then really everything hit him, but so he threw me to the wolves. And we had 1 lap, but, you know, now the rain's kind of done us in bad here, so I don't know. But I want to thank Richard Jackson, everybody at Hooters, and NASCAR for giving me an opportunity of a lifetime again to try to run a Winston Cup car, and so far so good.
Didn't you drive Labonte's 18 car here at this race a year ago?
Yeah, I did, you know, and Bobby did a great job with broken shoulder for 100 laps, and I got in it for 20 and tore it all to pieces. But, you know, what an opportunity there again. And
does Rick know that?
I didn't tell him. I didn't tell Richard Jackson either, but, you know, it was a fluke thing right there, unfortunate deal. But anyway, anytime you can get in a Winston Cup car, it's a great opportunity, especially for me, hoping to move up one day. And, you know, again, this is not an easy situation, but Rick is comfortable with it. And, you know, I wish he wasn't feeling bad because he was really, really running good in the car. And I think they got things turned around, but who knows what's going to happen now.
Yeah, hey, you're the Busch points leader. Real quick, how do you keep your nose clean at Hickory next week?
Well, same old thing, you know, qualify good, and the guys gave me a great car. The Caterpillar cars are really good. We just need that little much at the very end, and we're going to get it, and Hickory might be the place, but we're looking at that big picture too. and it's a long way to go, but we're working on it.
Okay, and you're not too tired to go back out there and finish this thing if it stops raining?
No, but I haven't put a scratch on it yet, Bill, so we'll kind of see where it plays out.
Okay, got one lap in. Maybe we'll get to share the prize money here at Bristol today. He's been working real hard for it.
Well, the fans are sticking around. A lot of them have left now. Don't get the wrong idea, but still some of them are remaining in their seats and trying to wait out the weather that just really doesn't look good. Looks like more rain might be off the third turn headed this way. Oh, somebody lost a lug nut.
It's going to get washed away there.
It's wet already.
And somebody's gloves are going to be wet, too, laying on top of that wall.
It's like it started to rain again, isn't it? Yeah, you can see it coming down pretty good now.
Turn 2 over there. It's turn 3. It's raining.
Oh, well, we are going to wait it out here. We're not going anywhere, so don't you. We'll be back with more of our rain show from Bristol in just a moment.
Inside your engine, the dividing line between protection and destruction is a thin film of oil, which is why car makers have established strict standards for motor oil performance. Quaker State exceeds the highest standards for protection against thermal breakdown, volatility burn-off, corrosion. Quaker State. What's the state of your motor oil? Quaker State exceeds the highest standards for engine protection.
Since NASCAR first began, there have been over 1,000 races, with more than 10,000 drivers and mechanics, and millions of spectators. And as NASCAR continues to grow even bigger, so has the one parts store serious enough to be the only official auto parts store in the history of NASCAR. Western Auto, and Western Auto's new Parts America.
Back at a wet Bristol International Raceway, we are still here. The cars and drivers are still here. Few fans remain, but so does the rain, unfortunately. Let's take a look at the rundown at the 342 lap mark. You can see that 6 cars are on the lead lap.
And Dale Jarrett back in 6th spot. It says that he started 7th. That's really not right. He actually started about 37th because on that qualifying lap, he crashed and had to go to a backup car and start at the very rear of the field. So he has gained 31 spots.
Now 16 through 30. Ernie Irvin in 16th position.
Lots of cars that are 2 laps down. There's a lot of positions that could really change, and that if we should be able to get this thing going again, then you see there are, 4 cars that are 4 laps down. 1 car just 3 laps down. Brett Bedine's in a lap by himself there.
And Darrell Waltrip is out of the race. He crashed hard just before the red flag and put himself out of the race. He's shown right now in 26, but if we resume, he's going to drop back further than that.
As a matter of fact, Darrell Waltrip, they threw the red flag after he crashed, and that's one reason we've only got 342 laps in. We'd have more, but we stopped about 15 minutes trying to clean up the gasoline where he crashed. And I received 31 through 37. Elton Sawyer, the very first car out today, and Mike Skinner, the second car out. And John Kernan is down with Jimmy Spencer. Mr. Excitement, John.
Mr. Excitement right now in the 13th spot. Rolling the eyes there. What's that all about, Jimmy?
We've not had an eventful day today, really. I just want to run a whole lot better. I thought we were going to run a whole lot better, and we just never got the car right. And, you know, it's raining harder and harder, and we'll take 13th and go to the ranch, so to speak. But we're off a little bit, and hopefully that we'll get it more dialed in. We're going to test some more stuff, and our shot combination just not quite right. We're a little bit too tight in the center of the corner. I'm sure everybody's complaining about that. I'll tell you what, though, this is an interesting Bristol because a lot of give and take today, a lot more than I've ever seen ever at Bristol. So our car's all in one piece, all 4 fenders is on it, so that's important compared to what sometimes have had happen here.
Yeah, there hasn't really been that many cars torn up today like we normally see in the past. Is that a result of what Gary Nelson and the guys told you guys in the drivers meeting this morning, you know, to be careful?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I just think there's so much emphasis put on the Winston Cup Championship, Winston Cup points. Winston puts so much money into the point fund, and fans are so interested in where you are in the points. I think right now you can win 2 or 3 races this year and finish 30th in the points, and they'll forget about you. But I think if you finish in the top 10 in points, people are going to remember that. Plus, you get to go on the stage at New York, and I think that's an important part. I think the whole aspect of the sport's changing for that, you know, because the thing is that you know, if you are the Winston Cup champion, you get a lot of perks with it. But if you get a top 10 in points, you get a lot of perks. So all in all, that's what our gun is this year, is gunning for a top 10 in points. And, you know, we have not had the luck so far this year, but we've also had good runs taken away from us. So I guess that's the luck I'm talking about, really. But, you know, today we were lucky in a way because to be running 13th, only 2 laps down, we could have been 20 laps down or whatever, crashed like Darrell did, unfortunately for him. I hope he's all right. I did see he's all right. He walked across the racetrack. But all in all, those are things that's happened to me in the past here. And instead of finishing 13th, 14th, or maybe even 8th, instead you're finishing 38th. So hopefully, if the rain does subside, which I don't think it will, but I think we're going to take 13th and go on into, I think, where's our next, Easter next week.
That's all right, we get that up.
We go to Easter next week.
Man, that was philosophical almost. That was almost a textbook style there, some kind of academic type thing. Hey, have you seen Bill Weber around anywhere?
Bill Weber.
Yeah, and you probably noticed if you saw him that out in this rain, you know, I mean, Jimmy, our hair's kind of messed up. Well, Bill's hair is not even messed up, but I think he's in the trailer next door to us. So, Bill, take it away.
I'm here with Kenny Wallace. I just came by to break some bad news to you. You're 158 laps down. What are you going to do about it?
I'm going to get in one of those red trucks that are going around the racetrack right now and run 150 laps. Now I'm going to be on the lead lap. And then they can call it and I'll go home.
That'd be a good situation because your car is a little banged up.
Yeah, darn it. You know, I guess we had a great qualifying run, and we were running 8th, and I don't know what happened. Maybe you guys up there got a replay of it, and I can rest assured that I guess I spun out and got hit. But, you know, Bill, it said it best. One of his crewmen stopped me, and he says, you know, every time Bill comes here, he says there's a 75% chance you're going to wreck.
Oh, great.
Everybody. And I said, well, Dick Trickle taught me that it's always 50% your fault for just going on the racetrack. You know, Bristol's tough, and darn it, you know, I was a little disappointed because we've had such a good year going and, you know, drop us down the points a little bit. But we're a new team, and things that get better.
Yeah, you're having a great year, though. I mean, throughout today, and you're doing real well.
Yeah, but, you know, it got to going. We ran a lot of green laps there. I was getting the car fixed and went out and, heck, run over 100 laps of green, and, you know, I thought, darn, I wish I could be part of this. This is getting to look pretty good. And then, of course, they bunched it up, and Darrell got put in the wall there, and so it got back to being the old Bristol. Anytime you put them side by side, you can pretty well go to Vegas and bet odds that there's going to be a big one.
You were following that 2 car there before you ran into trouble.
Well, we had a good deal going, you know. We were only 30 laps in the wreck. 30 laps, into the race when I got wrecked, and, you know, and me and Rusty were kind of running along there, and he was checking me, and I just did the, you know, go on and pass me here, and then he opened up a hole, and I went with him, and we went by Ricky Rudd, and had a restart, and I got a little loose coming off of 2 there, and like I say, 30, 40 laps into the race, and here we are wrecked. So
in the rain.
In the rain. I wish you'd just call it when we go home.
Okay. Well, we'll be standing by for that. We'll see if they call it or if we finish. We'll be waiting down here. Back up to you guys.
Hey, Director, I wish the next time you go down, don't go down where they're eating something. Kind of just take the camera and go over because...
Benny, you have had enough to eat up here this afternoon. You surely can't be hungry.
It's supper time.
He's had cookies, he's had brownies, he's had pound cake. I tell you, it is getting close to dinner time.
It is.
And it's still raining at Bristol, raining rather hard, as a matter of fact, but we will wait it out. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We're here to tell you about AbWorks from Nordic Track, the advanced abdominal exerciser. AbWorks is fun, it's new, and it's hot. Get AbWorks for a smoking new waistline.
With AbWorks, you can effectively work your abs with complete neck and back support.
Look better. Sculpt the abs of your dreams. The ultimate ab machine is here. AbWorks by Nordic Track. Work upper, lower, and side abdominals with complete support for the head, neck, and spine for a safe workout. Tone your entire waistline in just 5 minutes a day. Get it for $119.95 or 4 easy payments of $29.95.
Call now to order and get this free workout video with complete instructions for 15 AbWorks exercises, plus my 20-minute aerobic workout. That's everything you need.
Call now to order the complete AbWorks system for $119.95 or 4 easy payments of $29.95. Get your AbWorks today.
It's been a long day at Bristol International Raceway. It isn't over yet. Hey, here's a guy that better turn his hat upside down or something. He's collecting water in it.
I'm telling you. If his hat doesn't leak, he could have a gallon of water. That's a sombrero, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah. Well, you can see it's still raining here, and there has been no official word as yet from NASCAR as to the status of this race, but we're going to stay here for a while. John Kernan is down with Wally Dallenbach.
Well, Wally, what kind of day has it been for you, huh?
Actually, it's been pretty fun. We got caught a little bit at the beginning on the yellow flag, and we came in for a pit stop and got down right away. But I'm pretty happy with the car, and I'm getting reacquainted with this racetrack.
Getting reacquainted with this racetrack. How, you know, everything, the first of the year, everything was so tentative, and now you guys have got the sponsor with the Hayes Modem people. I mean, got to feel like, I guess, everything is gravy right now, huh?
Oh, definitely, especially when you can pay the bills. That helps a lot. But, no, I'm real happy with the situation here. The Budmore team's been great, and with Hayes Modem coming on, it gives us an opportunity to know where we're going every week, and we just want to get through the first swing of the races, and then we know what kind of cars I like, and we've all worked together at those racetracks. So this is a tough one. If we can just get through the next two here, I'm looking forward to May coming around.
You know, even though you spent several years on the Winston Cup circuit, you still have things to learn at some of these tracks, don't you? And this is a good team to learn it with, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think you ever stop learning, and experience is everything in this circuit. And with the Budmore racing team, they got so much experience. They can come off the trailer, and they can be in the ballpark, and that's what's important to me, because I'm learning a lot, and these guys are teaching me a lot, so it's working out really good.
Yeah, you're also an amateur meteorologist, right? I mean, what do you think about this? Looks like it's picking back up again.
Well, I'd have to say there's a lot of smarter fans out there than we are, I think, right now. But looking at the grandstands, they might be just sitting in the car. I don't know, but this doesn't look good. I know we got the lights and everything, but it's still coming down pretty hard, and I know it's going to take a long time to dry, but, hey, we'll wait it out.
All right, well, keep dry there, Wally. Thanks a lot. Bob?
Okay, thank you, John. Still raining, and so we will talk to more drivers. Bill, who you got this time?
Standing down here with Rusty Wallace, trying to stay out of the way of everybody in. Stay dry at the same time. You have a good car. You have a good shot. I know you want it to stop.
Yeah, I want it to stop because, man, I tell you, I had a car that thought could win the race. I'm sitting there running second, and now I'm fifth. We had a restart problem up there, I guess. I don't know if Jeff missed a gear or what happened, but we got blowed away on the inside lane, and I got back to fifth. But, hey, that's racing. I'm fifth. That's pretty good. The car was really, really quick today. The engine ran great. The pit stops were wonderful. But we gained a lot of points, and now I'm just going to go on home and load a bag and head to Japan.
Okay, well, have a good time over there.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Rusty Wallace.
Rusty, Dale Earnhardt, and NASCAR officials will be leaving tomorrow morning to go to Japan for a tire test on the Suzuka circuit. Back with more from Bristol in just a moment.
You wanna do? I can't tell you who to sock it to. It's your thing. Do what you wanna do. I can't tell you who to sock it to.
ESPN Speed World coverage of the Food City 500 from Bristol International Raceway is being brought to you by McDonald's. On the track and in our restaurants, just watch us cook. By Brakes & Stratton, your #1 source of power. Make sure all your outdoor power equipment has a Brakes & Stratton engine. And by Napa Auto Parts, we keep America running. The announcement has just been made. The race has been called at this point at the conclusion of 343 laps, and Jeff Gordon is the winner. And look at his incredible climb in the points. 42nd in points after Daytona, 43rd after Rockingham. Then the climb began with a victory at Richmond. He finished 3rd at Atlanta, moved to 16th in the points. At Darlington last week, his win moved him to 9th, and with the win today here at Bristol, Jeff Gordon is now 6th in the points. Let's go down to our McDonald's Winner's Circle interview and Jerry Punch.
This might be the most unusual victory lane we've done, sitting up here in a nice leather recliner, Jeff, but you drove it hard all day. Congratulations.
Well, right now it's the only dry place, but I guess you're giving me the official word because I've still been waiting for that official word, but...
It is official, right? Let me ask you that. It is official. Okay, then. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. You're the winner.
Well, thank you, Jerry. You know, this isn't the way, of course, we want to win this thing, but we did have a strong car. You kind of want to see that checker flag, but we did our part for what part of the race we did run, and I got to thank those guys on the DuPont Chevrolet. They were great. They did a good job. They got me in and out of the pits when we needed to, but we weren't the fastest car yesterday in that last practice. And we had a great car today, so I'm real proud of them. Goodyear tires were great today, and forgot to thank Coca-Cola last weekend. So this is pretty amazing. It's just not the same, I know, but it's pretty amazing to the way things have been going for us. And I can't believe we just won at Bristol this way. This is amazing.
You know, you're sitting here waiting for the word, Jeff, and about 2 minutes ago, Earnhardt walks in and just sticks out his hand and says, "Congratulations, you're the winner. I'm out of here." And he congratulated you before you even knew you had won it.
Yeah, I think he's got a little more pull than all of us, and he had the direct line to who makes the calls. But I think he's on his way to Japan. But I know when he told me that, I figured it was pretty official. That's as official as we need around here.
3 wins in the last 4 outings, and the guy goes from 9th to 6th in the point standings as the climb continues for the reigning Winston Cup champion, Jeff Gordon, who wins today here at Bristol.
And Jeff sitting in the NASCAR trailer in a dry place, and by golly, we are still getting rain outside here at Bristol. Let's take a look at the unofficial results. And guys, it's pretty amazing that Jeff Gordon got off to such a poor start for the first 2 races, and wow, is he on a comeback, huh?
Well, he really is, Bob. No doubt about that. 3 wins in 4 races and a top 5 in the other one.
And as Bristol races go, today was fairly uneventful, although Darrell Waltrip and Kenny Walsh and a couple other cars involved in accidents wouldn't say so, but as Bristol goes, fairly uneventful.
This is the unofficial results. Again, this race has been called at this point 343 out of the 500 laps completed. Rain, rain, rain from beginning to the end, and it resulted in our first rain-shortened event since Martinsville almost a year ago last April. The points, the first 4 stay the same with Dale Earnhardt, 37 points now behind Dale Jarrett, Rudd, Craven, and Labonte, and now the 6 through 10. Several positions change here. Jeff Gordon moves up to 6th, then it's Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, Rusty Wallace, and Ted Musgrave. We'll take next weekend off for Easter, but be back at North Wilkesboro for a big weekend starting on Friday at 3 o'clock with Winston Cup qualifying. The Lowe's 150, 5 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. NASCAR today at 12:30 on Sunday, and the First Union 400 at 1 o'clock 2 weeks from today. Sports Center is coming up next. Thanks to Jerry Putch, John Kernan, Bill Weber, Ned Jarrett, and Benny Parsons. I'm Bob Jenkins. Thanks for joining us. So long, everyone.
McDonald's invites you to play the Disney Video Masterpiece Collection Trivia Challenge. The biggest trivia game ever at McDonald's. Pick the right answer to questions about Disney Masterpiece Collection videos and win every time. Over 300 million prizes. Win a cool $1,000,000. Hot McDonald's food. Disney videos. Come play today. It's gonna be magic.
Since NASCAR first began, there have been over 1,000 races with more than 10,000 drivers and mechanics and millions of spectators. And as NASCAR continues to grow even bigger, so has the one parts store serious enough to be the only official auto parts store in the history of NASCAR. Western Auto and Western Auto's new Parts America.
On this edition of SportsCenter, would the strain of leadership take its toll on Tommy? Freddie Couples amongst the major names making a charge at the TPC. Goran may not be game for his 7th final of the season, but the Diesel's in high gear for his latest go-round with Ewan. All this plus playoff positioning between the Penguins and Flyers, and a long afternoon on the short track. Plus, our Final Four preview looks at Q's and the Cat, trying to find anyone who doesn't like Kentucky. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of SportsCenter, along with Rich Eisen. I'm Gary Miller. Ahead in this half hour and a little bit plus. 2 weeks left in the NHL playoff chase and a stirring shootout to finish the final round of the TPC.
But first, there's going to be a little shootout going down in Charlotte right after our show. At stake, the women's basketball national title. For a preview of Georgia and Tennessee, we turn to Robin Roberts and the gang in North Carolina. Robin.
All right, Rich, thank you very much. As you can see, a lot of anticipation surrounding this championship game in Charlotte, North Carolina. And with me again, as always, my two sidekicks, can't get rid of them, Mimi Griffin and Nancy Lieberman-Klein. We are less than an hour away from game time. The two teams arrived a short time ago. Georgia was the first to arrive at about 5:20 this afternoon. Sadia Roundtree, the player of the year, she's got her game face on, had a big game against Stanford, 26 points. Tennessee Governor Don Sundquist on hand to greet the Tennessee Lady Vols. Our Beth Mowens caught up with both coaches.
I think we're confident. You know, we're certainly not arrogant. We never have been, and we never will be. But, you know, I think that there's just a confidence within our team that, you know, hey, look, we've played the 4 #1 seeds in the country, and we're 4-0 against them.
I'll be very honest with you. I did not think I'd get to work today. I'm excited to be going to work.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Well, between Andy Landers and Pat Summitt, two premier coaches in the SEC, they have 10 Final Four appearances between them and over 1,000 career wins. So you know we're going to see a well-coached game in this championship game. And Mimi, you think it's going to be a game of tempo?
That's it, Robin. The team that controls tempo the most will win this game. Georgia likes to play fast, and they try to make you play fast. They do that with their full-court pressure. This is no containment press. They go for the steal to try to spark their transition game. Tennessee, on the other hand, is going to run when the opportunity is there, but in a half court, they'll try to be deliberate and try to work for that high percentage inside shot. Nancy, Pat Summitt does not want this to be a game of jump shots.
Well, it won't, because so much has been made of Latina Davis and what a great defensive player she is. She has been their leading scorer the last 4 or 5 games, averaging over 17 points a game. Now, when Holtzclaw went down, that meant somebody had to step up, and obviously Davis has done that. She is shooting 60% from the field. She is the type of player that you have to rely on for those high percentage shots.
Yeah, she has definitely come up big in this tournament for the Lady Vols. Mimi, okay, tempo, give us another key.
Well, I think Tennessee is a much more versatile defensive team than they were in their first meeting this year. You're going to see Pat Summitt change up defense a lot to try to keep Georgia off balance.
Well, also for Georgia, let's face it, they have seen every type of defense there is this year. Man-to-man defense, all sorts of zones. It hasn't slowed them up. You know why? They have Henderson and Fred on the inside, and they have a deluxe shooting team from 3 on the outside with Roundtree and Holland. I think they've got a great inside-outside balance.
All right, ladies, you ready? You ready to play? Ready to see some ball? Yeah. A little more than half an hour from now, come back to us here at Charlotte Coliseum for the title game between Tennessee and Georgia. Right now, though, let's go back now to Rich.
Thanks, Robin. It's sad, yet true, but most of us realize good things in life usually don't last forever. The Magic found that out the hard way Tuesday when Magic and the Lakers ended Orlando's 40-game home win streak. So who would be the unlucky stiffs to enter the arena the game after? The New York Knicks hope to hand Orlando its first 2-game home losing streak in 2 years Sunday. Penny and company have won 4 straight at home against New York. First quarter, Penny feeds Shaq, and that's a good idea. Second quarter, Knicks trying to stay close. Patrick Ewing with a facial. Knicks down 9 at the break. Ewing at 30. Second half, the rout begins. Nick Anderson kicks it to Ho Grant. He hits the jumper and apparently enjoys the fruits of his labor. 23 for Grant. Fourth quarter, Magic up 17. Penny hangs in traffic. 20 points for Penny. Then some D, courtesy of D. Scott. He steals it from Willie Anderson, and Brian Shaw sets up Penny for the alley. Oop. Van Gundy bumming. Then Shaw couldn't neglect his daddy, could he? Now, 8 assists for Shaw. Shaq at a game-high 32. Magic roll 98-79. Ho Grant bucketed 13 in the third quarter, personally staving off a Knick run. The victory over the Van Gundys clinches the Atlantic for Orlando. It's Orlando's second straight division title. The Magic not sliding their ball handling. Already fourth in the league and the fewest turnovers per game, Orlando showed off some serious ledger domain Sunday. The 3 turnovers against the Knicks ties an NBA record for the fewest cough-ups in one game. The magical Laker tour made its inaugural stop in Toronto Sunday and had some turnover problems early. Eldon can't handle the Magic pass. Tracy Murray enjoys that. He had 32 on the day. Raptors by 1 at the half. Raptors down 5, however, in the second half. Tracy Murray with the 3. And just down 2 is Toronto, but the Lakers up 4. Magic on the box. Dribbling. Loses it, but Sedell 3 gets it back and puts it in. Puts the Lakers up 6, and the Lakers win by 5. The Lakers now 4-4 thus far on their 6-game road trip. In fact, LA has won 15 of its last 17 on the road. The Lakers had 7 in double figures, led by 20 from Vlade Divac. As for Magic, 19 points, 4 boards, and 6 assists. Gary.
And it has just ended at the TPC. Tommy Tolles had the lead in the second and third rounds through much of the day, and then Freddie Couples made a huge charge. He's won it by 4 strokes with the best final round ever in this event. He's only the second player ever to win it twice. Jack Nicklaus the other. We'll show you highlights a little bit later of the great final run by Freddie Couples to take this event. The first non-first-time winner on tour in a month. Other scores from Sunday, Fuzzy Zeller kept missing little birdies by inches, and that cost him dearly on the final day. Ernie Els tried to make a run but couldn't. As you look at more scores, and we will show you how it wrapped up on that great course down in Ponte Vedra a little bit later in Sports Center. At the other end of the state in Key Biscayne, Goran Ivanisevic going after a slice of history. Having already cost Pete Sampras a chance to regain number 1, Ivanisevic brought his booming serve to bear on Andre Agassi in his 7th final of the year. The first best of 5 at Lipton since 1990. Sly Stallone wanted to see that. But a pain in the neck for Ivanisevic. The stiff neck cost him. The booming serve completely gone. Playing one-handed tennis with Agassi. Tried to gut it out. Played 3 games. Look at how much is lost. The rainbow serve. Clearly not his game. He compares beards and then says, I'm gone. Agassi wins it 3-love and thus cost Ivanisevic a chance to equal Arthur Ashe's 20-year-old record of winning 5 titles in the first 3 months of the tour. The Croatian native had not reached a final in the U.S. in 5 years. He still has never won an American event. Agassi equals their lifetime record at 3-3 in the all-time series. Rich?
Lots of hockey to talk about this Sunday. The top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference going at it in the city of brotherly love. And the Flyers flying by the Penguins. John LeClair with a hat trick, goals 45 through 47. The Penguins had only 10 shots in the first 2 periods. We'll have highlights of that one, including this one as well. The Red Wings destroying St. Louis, and the Blues may have lost more than just the game in this one. Brett Hull left with a pulled hamstring. Grant Fuhr making his 76th straight start, setting an NHL record for games. He had to leave shortly after the second period began. Well, again, highlights of this later on in the show.
Still to come on Sports Center, a little over a half hour to go before we get to women's hoops. We'll take you to Sawgrass. We'll show you how Freddie Couples won, and also have a report from Jimmy Roberts on the old guard outdoing the young bloods.
Yes, but before that, we'll take you to New York City. Tony Delk will try and dunk on John Wallace, who knows a thing about dunking himself. A men's final preview on the way.
I am one with my Pizza Hut Rawlings game ball. I am a human highlight film. I am awesome. But I ate the whole pizza that comes with the ball. So I am incredibly slow.
I'm leaving. The game ball, $4.99 with any pizza. Keep the ball, share the pizza.
Fool, you'll love the stuff we're made of. Sylvester Stallone, Kurt Russell, Jack Palance, and Terry Hatcher. 2 big guys.
I hear you're the second best cop in LA.
I hear the same thing about you. 2 big problems.
These 2 cops are driving me crazy.
With one thing in common.
Who do you think set us up? I got a lot of admirers. How about you?
Now, if they can stand each other...
I am gonna date your sister.
Over my dead body. Deal? They just might stand a chance.
Bad cop?
Worst cop. Tango and Cash, this weekend on CBS.
In a Saab 900 Turbo, you could feel an exhilaration polite society would frown on. You could act on impulses committees would vote down. And when they tell you to zig, you could zag. Turbo Rush. only in the Saab 900 Turbo. Find your own road, Saab.
Final Four Report is brought to you by the intense, fun, and wicked head-banging taste of dew.
And welcome back to SportsCenter's coverage of the New York Coliseum at Fan Jam. Some guys who would love to be at the Meadowlands on Monday night, polishing their games in the center court here. Disorganized. Looks like a Digger Phelps practice. Digger and Dick will join me in just a second. Will it be the Kentucky coronation on Monday night, or will Syracuse pull one of the bigger upsets in NCAA championship game history? They're a bigger underdog than NC State in '83, Kansas in '88, even Villanova in '85. Leslie Visser spoke with both the Orangemen, who are delighted to be here, and the Cats, who counted on being here. Leslie?
Hi, Chris. Well, the Wildcats have always had this scenario in mind. Their Christmas card this year said, if you've been good, you'll go to the Meadowlands. But hey, not many people had Syracuse booked for the title game.
The fact that it was so unexpected, obviously makes it probably even better.
I guess for y'all, it's a surprise for us to be here. We had the potential to be here all year long. That's what we talked about. That's what we worked on.
We watched ESPN last night. We heard Dick Vitale say we're going to get blown out. That's not respect to us. We feel that we're going to play Kentucky just as tough as anybody in this tournament would have. So we still not getting it, and I know we're not, but that's all right. After Monday, we'll see.
Basketball.